If I were to die right now, did I accomplish everything that I wanted to?
纽约最好的私立学校 Trinity School 毕业，哈佛大学的本科生，华尔街新星。这个传说中光芒万丈的哈佛女孩，却在一批亿万富翁的支持下，转身教起了美国学生英语写作。她为什么离开日进斗金的华尔街？她为什么要做一个教育公司？更重要的是，她为什么能得到这么多华尔街大佬的支持？今天我的访谈嘉宾是 Jay。Natalie 的 CEO 一家英语写作教育科技公司。
Jen, it's so nice to meet you in New York City, and congratulations, you just closed multi-million dollars for the seed round. Tell me more information about that.
Thank you so much, Victoria. It's a pleasure to be here. We are so excited to have an amazing financial and strategic lead investor for this round. We have invested a lot of money in this amazing tech product and hired an awesome team. As part of this seed round is an investment from the Robinhood Foundation. It was founded by the hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones and has received support from a number of financiers here in New York, including Bill Ackman from Pershing Square. We were one of the first 7 for-profit startups to actually receive an investment rather than a grant from Robinhood, and we were selected from over 300 companies. So it's a tremendous honor.
You are what people call the resume of dreams. Trinity School, Harvard University, and Wall Street. After 10 years working in finance, why you walk away from that world?
I loved my time at Trinity, at Harvard, and when I was on Wall Street, I was actually a mergers and acquisition investment banker, and then I became a hedge fund analyst. My last job actually as a hedge fund analyst, I was working in Germany for a fund, and I set up an investment research team there. The first year we launched, we actually came in within our vertical second in terms of performance across all of Europe. It was just a tremendous experience. I got to fly around and meet with companies across Europe, across Asia. I was just extremely unsettled. I really wanted to build something that would change the lives of people around me. I would have really regretted not trying to give back to the world in some meaningful way. And so that is the reason why I decided to leave it all behind and start an educational company. I really want to do something that I know would touch the lives of people and hopefully can leave the world a little bit better than when I joined.
You built this from scratch to 3,000 students. Could you share your early days about the startup?
I've been teaching since I was 16 years old. I would go to different immigrant communities. I would volunteer at schools across the city. And I went to South Africa to teach English, right? It's something that's very much within my DNA. So I literally created our own curriculum that says, step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. And we were able to really grow our business from there. Families loved us. They would refer all of their friends through word of mouth entirely. Our entire team at the time was actually from Harvard because those were our relationships. Today, still about 1/3 of our editors are from Harvard, and we're approved to recruit at every single top university, which is incredible. So that is really how it got started.
I saw your CTO from your team online, and his LinkedIn profile seems impressive. He was a CTO for a public company. Can you tell why he decided to join you?
And our CTO, his name is Steve. His background is actually in financial technology. He is a master when it comes to database and privacy. Why our team is together is the mission. We're a very purpose-driven team.
US has ChatGPT, China has DeepSeek. Right now, AI has become a necessity for everyday writing. I imagine many people will ask, is it necessary to learn how to write? Or is there still room for writing an education company to survive?
Think about when the calculator came out. Are you going to say that we don't need to know how to do basic arithmetic anymore? Absolutely not, right? And so AI is a really amazing tool, just like calculators are too. But we're not going to replace math, just like we're not going to replace the thought process and the teaching process behind writing. Because writing is a reflection of how you think. That is the reason why when you're an incoming freshman to Harvard, there is only one mandatory class to take, and it's an expository writing class called Expos, because it's all about logic and reasoning. And so that's why I always tell my kids, if it's not working up here, it's not working down there. And there will always be a room for education companies to help students express themselves that way. Oh, this is so embarrassing. You're the last person I wanted to see.
I'm the last person you wanted to see? You're bringing camera through? Hi, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Oh my gosh. This is Kevin Ramsey, our Director of Communications from Trinity.
Nice to meet you.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Did you enjoy your time at Trinity School? I know there were a lot of wealthy kids there. I'm curious, with such diverse backgrounds in the students' population at Trinity, like some of students go on vacations in private jets and yachts, did you truly feel in there?
It was an absolutely amazing experience. I think that it is an absolute privilege to get that kind of education here.
Okay.
In terms of how I felt, I mean, frankly, middle school, high school, those are awkward ages anyway for every single student.
Okay.
Everyone is super driven academically. That's really, at the end of the day, what anybody cares about. I have a really good group of friends from Trinity.
Okay.
We're still really tight to this very day. It's about 10 of us.
Okay.
And we were all just really great friends. Even now, when we're in our mid-30s, we would travel and meet up across the country. We all go to each other's weddings.
Okay.
And it's just really great, you know. They're lawyers, they're traders.
I understand that you're also a Harvard interviewer. What do you look for in a candidate?
I am going to tell you the most important question that the admissions committee is going to be asking. It is this, and I'm going to say it twice because it's that important. How are you going to use the resources of the university to better the world in which you live? Because ultimately, that's what you're doing, right? You're trying to persuade the admissions committee, you're trying to persuade the university to invest in you. Why should they pick you? And the reason they should do that is because you're going to show that you have the highest potential to better the world around you. That is so, so important.
There are tons of writing classes on the market. What makes yours stand out?
Letterly is not another writing class. It's all about the practice and doing writing consistently so that you're practicing smart. Every single student's writing is a different fingerprint and they have different goals. So it needs to be hyper-personalized. You would never have a small group class of violinists, and the same goes for writing. So what we focus on, and the reason why we can actually get into public school classrooms, is because we focus on the writing process. Consistency. Letterly, we've done all the training for all of the coaches along every stage of your journey. A middle school coach is going to be different from a high school coach, and we can personalize that for you. Another thing that is really cool about our software is that every word that's written is actually data. Our students are reading and writing multiple times a week. They're editing all of their work, and then they're publishing it in an online magazine or getting recognized, say, in a writing competition. Your kids are finalists for John Locke. They got flown to England to receive an award at Oxford for this. They win gold and silver keys for the Scholastic Arts and Writing Award. so that they're actually real reporters and so that their writing actually means something. First of all, they have a physical anthology, which is absolutely incredible. This is entirely written and illustrated by our kids. We have about 200 students who've been published in here. This is a 300-page book. This is my personal favorite because it's food related. This hot pot drawing, look at that, how cool is that? Also, throughout the entire summer, published their work online in the Letterly Journal. So far, we've published 15,000 student articles, and it's getting published every single day across different categories. That's why parents just keep coming back to us, because they see results, not based on outcome, but based on the process, the discipline of reading and writing consistently. It's not just about the educational curriculum itself. It's about, can I get my student engaged enough to put their thoughts onto the page? And that is really our mission.
How about parents in New York City? Are they focused on academic too?
Yes, the parents in New York care very much as well. That is actually the second state where we have most of our students. And a big part of our New York audience is actually through our partnerships with schools. So, for instance, we work with Brooklyn Technical High School. It's one of the most competitive specialized high schools here in New York. We're actually one of the only vendors who's allowed to work with the entire senior class on their personal statement. So recently, we actually became an approved vendor of the New York City Department of Education, which is so exciting. And we're able to roll Letterly out in public school classrooms. And we're starting with a pilot out in Queens. And so we're super excited to also get principals and teachers on board. And this hits home for me personally because I started out in a public school in Queens. So we're really excited.
You'll finally get a chance to circle back to the community you grew up.
Yes.
Whatever you need, at whatever stage in your life, we're here for all of your writing and communication needs. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and I will see you in our next program.